Hi guys, I am Dalila Meziani. I'm a writer, and I want to say that I finally decided to show up. It's my second time here on YouTube, and I want to say, please wait for my books. They are coming. My books are really coming, right? Anyway, so I shared with you in the previous video how I started writing at the age of 14 and how I wrote my first book. Like, I finished writing my first book at the age of 16, which was The Storm. And I also speak about when I finished my book The Storm in the summertime, I decided to write another book. So I won't be telling you what's the name of this book or anything about this book now, but in the next videos I'll share everything about that book, right? So as I told you, I started writing the second book of mine, and I wrote around 30% of that book. And then in one day, like in this period of writing that book, in one day, I suffered a great pain. It crashed down on me all at once. Like, it was literally like suddenly. I was kind of sitting like that, and suddenly I felt a great pain. And it was going to drive me mad, by the way. It was so big. I didn't know how to handle it, how to take it. So you can say that all the pain that I experienced before, or you can say that since the age of 14, since I discovered that I am a writer, like, wasn't incomparable with the pain that I experienced in that moment. So much so that I went to my bed, I tried to sleep, I couldn't. Because you know what? You know, when you close your eyes, you feel what's in the inside more. Like, you're focusing more on what's in the inside, and what was inside me was a big disaster. It was that great pain. I tried to sleep. You can say that I was fighting, right? while closing my eyes, while trying to sleep, while laying down in my bed, I was fighting. Until I started imagining. I imagined the whole story. I imagined the girl, I imagined her character, and I was like, oh yeah, she's Friend of Pain. I want to name her Friend of Pain. And I had the idea, actually. I was like, oh yeah, she's Friend of Pain. I managed in imagining about her, and about her character, about how she was, how she talks, how she speaks. But I didn't want her to talk about her pain. So you can say I don't like complaining so much. I don't like complaining. I don't like it when, like, I didn't want her to complain about her pain or say, oh, look at the pain that I was, I didn't want her to say that. That's why I decided to write her, or write about her from someone else's perspective. So to make someone else talk about her. And this person is Tammy. So I wanted to make Semi talk about Friend of Pain. So you could say, as a person, how would you see Friend of Pain? How would you feel if you can't help someone nicknamed by Friend of Pain? Something like that. I wanted to really talk about her from someone else's perspective, right? And I had the idea, I was inspired like that because I had a lot of things to say in my book. If I'll talk about her from someone else's perspective, which is Semi, right? And in the moment when I had it clear in my head, like I had a plan of a whole book in my head, how to start, even how to finish the character of the girl and Semi, the person who's going to be talking about Friend of Pain, I jumped quickly into my desk. I ran into my desk like crazy. And I started writing like crazy, like literally, like I wrote it here. Okay, bore it with me. So I picked this copybook. It wasn't like that. I added that just to save it. I like space. So you can say that back then I was really thinking about space, and I like space. So I picked that one. I wrote here, Friend of Pain, صديقة الألم in Arabic. So if you don't know, I write in Arabic because back then, at 16, 14, I wasn't good in English. I was only good at Arabic. I was very good at Arabic. I was reading books in Arabic, so I had a very rich vocabulary in Arabic, right? And I started writing. So this is how I wrote it the first time. Happy to recall the memories of Friend of Pain with you, even though it was hurtful, right? It was painful. Anyway. So I started writing as crazy for 15 days, and I finished my book Friend of Pain in 15 days. So it's the first book that I published this year. So yeah, it's the first book that I published, but not the first book that I wrote. I just decided to publish it the first because it's not that big, right? The Storm was that big. It was a big book, like old one, right? And yeah, this is how I wrote my book Friend of Pain. So I was so in pain back then, and I didn't believe that I went over the pain that I experienced, but I came out with a book. So I came out this dangerous zone with a book, and I think that pain gave us a lot of lessons. So I had a lot of lessons to learn back then that I wanted to share, and I had such a wisdom that I wanted to share, right? So one of the lessons I wanted to share using Friend of Pain is that no matter the pain that you're experiencing, you can actually get through it, and not just get through it, but rise. Because I have another idea of mine. I had it at the age of 17, I guess, 17, 18, 17 you can say. A friend of pain, no, it's not a friend of pain. A pain and a gift. So I said that pain always gave us a gift. And I have this idea that nothing goes in vain in this life. No emotion go in vain. No action go in vain. No movement go in vain. Nothing go in vain. Even when your words come out, it doesn't go in vain. When you move, it doesn't go in vain. The emotions that you feel doesn't go in vain. When you're feeling comfortable, it says something, right? When you feel a pain, it says also something. Like, we also have to learn how to listen to ourselves and to our inner voice, and you can say to our intuition also. And so these are other things that I would be talking about in my next videos, because actually I have a lot of lessons that I want to share with you guys. Why? Because I believe that I am here to inspire in a way or another, and that I want to be that girl, something like that. Why? It's because one of the deepest reasons I write is that, when I wrote Friend of Pain, I was feeling like I was the only person who was suffering in this planet, because it was a great pain, and I thought that I was the only person that I was experiencing that pain. And then I realized that as a human being, because I was little for that, right? I was young for that. As a human being, we all go through that pain sometimes, right? And I just wanted to name one of my books, Friend of Pain, just to tell you, if you're going through a hard situation right now, or through some pain which is painful, right, which is hurtful, I just want to say you're not alone in it. You're not alone. I don't want you to feel alone in it. You're not alone. And also, back then, when I was experiencing that pain for the first time, I really hoped someone can speak about pain for me. Like, to let me understand what was happening to me, to just tell me you're not alone. This is we as a human being. Like, pain gave us gifts, and something like it's a lesson, or just have to keep on going because it's going to go. Nothing lasts forever. There's no, nothing lasts forever. That's not what I want to say. So the period didn't last forever, right? Even though I thought that it was eternity, because I didn't know how to deal with that. So I just wanted to say, you're not alone in it. And I really wanted someone to give me advice back then. So I really knew what does it mean when you need someone to give you an advice, or to inspire you, or to give you a hand, or to help you. So this deep need back then really made me wanna be there for you can say, or be there for you through my words, you can say, or something like, I really wanted to be an inspiration, or make my characters as as inspiring as possible, something like that. Just to say that you're not alone, and that you can go through anything if you believe in it. So this is the word that I'm discovering these days, believe, which is a great word, right? The video is gonna stop. Please wait for my words, they're coming. So finally I decided to show up. Wish you the best. Have a good day.